Welcome back to my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala. We are doing chapter carbon anions, compound and Cbse. Last time we have seen what is the addition reaction, what are substitution reaction. Let's see today's topic. Today we are going to see a very important organic solvent, that is ethanol. Right. So ethanol we are going to see is nothing but it's an alcohol. So we know that ethanol is C2H5OH. We can also write it as CH-3, CH2 and OH. Right. So the functional group is alcohol. So ethanol, let's see few of the properties and uses of ethanol. So ethanol is a liquid at room temperature. So it is commonly called as alcohol and is active ingredient for all alcoholic drinks. Right. So ethanol is also soluble in water in all proportions. And you add amount of ethanol in water, so it will be soluble. Then in addition, if you see that it is a very good solvent. As I told you in the beginning, ethanol is used as a very good solvent. It is also used in medicines as the such as tincture iodine. In many of the cough syrups, ethanol is used, and many tonics, ethanol is used. So consumption of small amount of dilute ethanol causes what? Drunkenness, right? Even though this practice is condemned, it is socially widespread practiced. However, intake of even a small quantity of pure ethanol they are talking about, right? That is the absolute alcohol can be lethal, dangerous. Also, long-term consumption of alcohol may leads to many health problems as such. When a large quantity of ethanol are consumed, what happens? It tends to slow down the metabolic activity, right? It will tend to slow down the metabolic activity and it will depress what? It will depress the central nervous system. Okay, central nervous system. So this will result into what? Into lack of coordination. So there will be lack of coordination will happen. Okay, mental confusion will be there, right? Then in addition, drowsiness will be there. Lowering of the normal inhibitions will be there, right? So all these things will happen when a large quantity of ethanol is consumed. Okay, the individual may feel relaxed without realizing that his sense of judgment, right? What will happen as the CNS is affected, the feeling of relaxedness will be there, and the sense of judgment, sense of timing, and the muscular coordination will be affected at large, right? That we need to remember. At the point of CNS, he may feel relaxed, but what sense will go down? The sense of timing, the muscular coordination. That's okay. That's the reason you see the person who consumes ethanol, that is the alcohol. You'll see that all these things starts happening with them. So unlike ethanol, if we take methanol, right, intake of methanol, methanol is nothing but what is ethanol? My C2H5OH. Methanol is nothing but CH3OH, right? Now if you see methanol, when it is consumed in a small quantity can cause death, right? Methanol is oxidized to methanol. See here, methanol is there, oxidation will happen, and what will happen is methanol, that is the aldehyde will be produced in the liver. Okay, so methanol reacts rapidly with the components of the cell. What will happen? It will react with the component of the cell, it will react. It coagulates the protoplasm. So we know that there is a nucleus and all the things here is called as protoplasm along with nucleus. So it will start coagulating the protoplasm. In the same way, as you see, what happens? The coagulation of the egg when we cook it, right? Okay. cooking the egg, so you see the coagulation happens same way the protoplasm here is being coagulated. So methanol also affects what? It affects optic nerve badly, causes blindness, right? So ethanol is an important industrial solvent, as I told you. Okay, widely used industrial solvent is ethanol. To prevent the misuse of ethanol produced for industrial use, what is being done? It is made unfit for drinking by adding poisonous substance, right? Like methanol to it. Okay, so what they do, ethanol, which is a very important industrial solvent. Okay, so it has been uh, given to many of the industries as such for the industrial use. But at the same time, we should see that it should be unfit for drinking. So what they do, they add this poisonous methanol purposefully to it, right? So dyes are also added to the color the alcohol blue so that it can be identified easily. Okay, so this is called as denatured alcohol. Now let's see a few more uses as such. Sugarcane plants are one of the most efficient converters of sunlight into chemical energy, right? So sugar cane juice is there, can be used to prepare molasses, which is fermented to give alcohol, that is ethanol. In the sugarcane factories, what we see is that molasses has been produced, then it has been fermented, and we get alcohol. Okay, some countries now they are using alcohol as an additive in petrol, since it is cleaner fuel which gives rise to only carbon dioxide and water, right? Carbon dioxide and water it will give rise to. Okay, on burning in sufficient quantity of air, means complete combustion, it will give me carbon dioxide and water as such, right? Okay, so they are adding what? They are adding ethanol to petrol. Okay, this also reduces the cost, okay, of the petrol. As you know that it is what? It is a fossil fuel. Petrol is a fossil fuel, right? So if we add ethanol into petrol, means what? We are extending the life of the crude oil as such. Now let's see a few of the reactions of ethanol after seeing its properties and uses. So if you see reaction with sodium, let's see the first reaction with sodium. What will happen? Right. So alcohol reacts with sodium leading to the what is evolved? Hydrogen gas evolves. Right. With ethanol. If you take ethanol, here you see we have taken ethanol, CH3, CH2OH, and we have taken sodium. Okay. Then what will happen? We'll get product called as sodium ether oxide. This is my sodium ether oxide, right? Plus hydrogen gas is released. Okay. Now, how to test this hydrogen gas? To test the hydrogen gas, a burning matchstick is brought close to the mouth of the tube, okay, where the gas is released. What happens? The matchstick catches the fire and making a pop sound. So this is a confirmatory test for hydrogen gas. Now let's see the reaction of ethanol to give unsaturated hydrocarbon. If we heat ethanol at 443 Kelvin with excess concentrated sulfuric acid, which results in the dehydration of ethanol. What is dehydration? Removal of water, right? So dehydration of ethanol will be there, and to give what? Ethene, right? So there will be dehydration of ethanol will be there. Here you see what has happened. If you see a carbon was there, then this OH, so this has been removed, right? Okay, and what you get? You see, you get what? Ethene, right? You get ethene. That is nothing but unsaturated hydrocarbon, right? The concentrated sulfuric acid can be regarded as dehydrating agent which removes water. Here you see what it is doing. It is removing water. if I do the tetravalency here you see what is happening, right? Now this goes, and if this goes, then what happens? This becomes like this. It is my ethene, right? So this is how the water is removed. And who is removing water? Sulfuric acid is removing water, right? So it is called as what? Dehydrating agent. Student, I'm sure you have understood today's topic of ethanol, the properties and reactions of ethanol. Kindly like, share and subscribe my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala for more informative videos.